Hey friends, Cinema Recapped here. Today I will explain to you a 2015 Japanese comedy romance movie named Haro and Shikaku. The movie starts with a young man called Rita Terasaka who is walking towards her school. Although Rita is a peaceful young man and seems indifferent to his circumstances, he is quite prominent at school because of his handsome face. When Rita was 10 years old, his mother left him to marry a younger man. Rita develops a distinct outlook. He thinks he should not pursue a serious relationship with anyone because he fears that they will ultimately leave him. Rita has a best friend named Hattori Matsuzaki, a cheerful and somewhat impulsive girl who secretly likes him. Hattori and Rita have been friends since they were 10 years old and proceed to be friends. Although Hattori is a cheerful girl and always seems confident with her beautiful face, she sometimes feels insecure, particularly when it involves her love for Rita, so she often seeks advice from her best friend, a girl named Kyoko Nakajima. Hattori expresses her wish to Kyoko to make Rita her boyfriend. But Rita has always been indifferent to Hattori, even though they have been buddies for so long, and Hattori always pays attention to Rita. While having lunch in the school cafeteria, Hattori and Kyoko saw a geeky student with glasses who was being bullied by delinquent students. Not long after, Rita appeared and helped the girl. Luckily, there was no fight between them because a canteen officer instantly expelled the delinquent students. Hattori observes Rita, who is eating with the geeky student, and realizes that he is very considerate of the student known as Maiho Adaki. Unexpectedly, Hattori, who saw their closeness, felt very jealous. Sometime later, the delinquent students returned to Rita and Adaki to take revenge because Rita had caused them trouble with the fierce canteen clerk. But suddenly Adaki appeared and instantly dropped the delinquent students. It turns out that Adaki has considerable physical strength, and Rita eventually considers her as the perfect heroine. Rita was very impressed with Adachi's courage to face the bad boys, making him collapse in love with Adaki. On the other hand, Hattori, who found out that Rita was starting to get attracted to Adaki, instantly felt irritated and jealous. Over time, Rita and Adachi's relationship grew closer. Adaki, a loner and clumsy girl, then turned into a more open person with Rita's encouragement. She even took off her glasses and renovated them with contact lenses to make herself more attractive in Rita's eyes. Meanwhile, Hattori, who sees their relationship, feels very frustrated and often vents her frustration on her best friend Kyoko, who provides advice to her about her love life, which is sarcastic, mostly because she is annoyed at Hattori's immaturity and lack of common sense. Nonetheless, Kyoko genuinely cares for Hattori and voices concern when she is down. In her frustration, Hattori accidentally meets a handsome young man called Kasuki Hiromitsu, who is instantly attracted to her. Kasuki then went to Hattori, who was sad thinking about Rita, and told her to let Rita go and forget about him. Kasuki said that he was willing to replace Rita's figure in Hattori's life and asked her to be his girlfriend. Hearing Kasuki's seduction, Hattori instantly refused his request and left. However, Kasuki swiftly grabbed Hattori's hand and then kissed her. Hattori tells Kyoko everything that night, impression very annoyed that Kasuki has stolen her first kiss. The following day, Hattori goes to Kasuki and demands an explanation from him for his presumptuous actions yesterday. Nonetheless, Kasuki instead pushed Hattori against the wall and tried to seduce her again. Rita, who happened to pass by them, then asked Kasuki not to be presumptuous towards Hattori. Nonetheless, Kasuki, who knows about Hattori and Rita's relationship, instead invites Rita and Adaki to have a double date with himself and Hattori. The following day, when the four of them went out jointly, Kasuki openly showed that he really liked Hattori by devoting all his attention to her. Seeing the closeness of Hattori and Kasuki, Rita even felt irritated and decided to leave. After Rita's departure, Kasuki instantly realized that Rita had secret feelings for Hattori. On the other hand, Adaki tells Hattori to stay away from Rita because now he is dating her and she will always be by his sighed, so Rita no longer needs Hattori to be around him. Hearing that, Hattori looked very surprised and hurt by Adachi's words and tried to hold back her tears. Kasuki, who knew from the outset Adachi's trickery, just wanted to take advantage of Rita's attention, then called her an evil heroine. Adachi, who is always playing the victim, really makes Kasuki sick, and he decides to take Hattori away before Adachi hurts her further. At first, Kasuki gradually approaches Hattori to annoy Rita, but he realizes Rita is actually very considerate of Hattori. Still, finally Kasuki develops serious feelings for Hattori and deeply cares for her. After that, Kasuki and Hattori's relationship became closer, and they often spent time together. Shortly afterwards, Hattori and Kasuki decided to go to the festival jointly at the end of summer. Suddenly, Rita also came to the festival, where he then realized his feelings for Hattori and kissed her. The two then became romantically involved for a short time until Adachi found out the following day and suddenly collapsed unconscious due to a broken heart and anemia she suffered. Feeling guilty, Rita then decides to break his romance with Hattori and decides to stay with Adachi. Feeling hurt and unhappy, Hattori decides to forget about Rita and try to have a more serious relationship with Kasuki, who has always cared about her. Although initially deciding to stay by Adachi's side, Rita finds it increasingly difficult to forget Hattori, and decides to end his relationship with Adachi. On the other hand, Hattori understood that she really had feelings for Kasuki and enjoyed their moment jointly. Even so, Hattori couldn't stop thinking about Rita and forgot her love for him. Even Hattori also felt jealous when her best friend, Kyoko Nakajima, became close to Rita after he broke up with Adachi, and her jealousy then strained her relationship with Kasuki, particularly when Kasuki finds out that Rita has decided to no longer be half-hearted with his feelings and starts pursuing Hattori seriously to get her love. At the same moment, Adachi returns to Rita's life and tells him about her abusive relationships. Hearing this, Rita felt sorry for her and decided once again to stay by Adachi's side out of guilt. Hattori, who feels confused and disappointed because of Rita's ever-changing attitude, then decides to stay single and forgets the relationship she was in before. However, after chatting to her mother, Hattori realizes that she still loves Rita. Meanwhile, Kasuki decides to try and rekindle his relationship with Hattori. When Hattori was about to meet Kasuki, who asked him to meet at the Ferris wheel, Hattori met Rita in the elevator. Both of them looked awkward after everything that happened. When the elevator doors opened, the sun was setting on the western horizon, which reminded Hattori and Rita of their childhood memories, where they often spent time together. But then, Hattori instantly returned to the elevator to head to the meeting place with Kasuki, leaving Rita looking down sadly because Hattori had left him. Rita was even more frustrated when he saw the photos of Hattori and their moments together stored on his cell phone. Hattori and Kasuki are eventually reunited, but when Kasuki expressed his desire to reconnect with Hattori, she instantly rejected it because she still loves Rita and will never forget him. Hearing this, Kasuki eventually decided to give up Hattori and encouraged her to express her love for Rita because he knew that Rita also really loved Hattori. Elsewhere, Rita, who is still nervous about Adachi's condition, then meets her. Despite going on abusive relationships, Adachi refuses to be pitied and tells Rita to find his own happiness. She seemingly also wants to let Rita go because she knows that Rita only loves Hattori. On the advice of Kasuki, Hattori rushes to find Rita's whereabouts and expresses her feelings of love after meeting him. Now that nothing weighs on his heart and mind anymore, Rita eventually replies to Hattori's declaration of love, and the two of them eventually officially become lovers. And the end. If you are a lover of similar content like this, take a look at my various videos, and if you love it, please burst the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash the notification horn. Take sight of you in the next video.